for Black Star Power, the Vincent Tucker Show.
Yeah.
B quarter.
The VTRS, the Vincent Tucker radio show. Vincent Heartbreak Tucker, Myskenna, Yellostar, Remon, and Charity E.talk, this thing. Colin doing this thing with the visuals. It's been a different format this week. We're having our town hall. We're discussing the issues that have taken place in America in recent weeks, and recent years, and recent decades. Pretty much
since we got here.
Right. On votes involuntarily.
Since Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Man, testify. But before I keep saying his name wrong. Philando Castile. I would have easily told a person, when you're stopped by police, just make sure you do everything you're asked, and then worry about fighting everything afterwards. But the Philando Castile case is a prime example of him following everything
Exactly.
he was asked to do, and he still lost his life.
You know, the police officers, when they approach you, they already have it in your mind that you're going to do something wrong, or that you're doing something wrong, or that you're going to harm them in some way. So their fear starts to kick in, their adrenaline starts to kick in, and then that, in their mind, that gives them justification to do what they do.
Like if you ever in your yard and you don't necessarily plant weeds, but weeds just woof, they will take over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All it takes is just one here and one there, and if you don't pluck those two at the beginning, and if you don't get it at the root, they just spread and they take over. And that's exactly what the situation is. It's just a bunch of weeds, and now it's just finna take over, and it's finna allow them to have justification to do and say, and just again to treat us the way they want to.
What I don't understand is all the white people that's been on TV saying that he is a representative of Black Lives Matter, and that this, you know, it's a bunch of thugs, and this is what was going to happen because the Black Lives Matter. This is what was going to happen.
Well, you know, as a black man, you represent everybody.
Right.
You can't be an individual.
Right.
You can't have your own thoughts and opinions.
Right.
You represent every black person every time you do something.
The only reason that there is a Black Lives Matter is because, unfortunately, the United States government, the judicial system, and the law enforcement are treating Black lives as if we don't matter.
Right.
He wasn't even a full person until how long ago? 3/5 of a person.
That's still in the Constitution.
I'm about to say, are we still?
That's still in the Constitution.
I still don't think we're a full person. What are the solutions? What do we do? Because I don't think shooting out. To me personally, I don't think the 12 officers that got shot on Thursday and the 3 officers that got shot on Friday. I don't think that's the answer. I feel like it ain't gonna do nothing but just make situations worse when police officers pull over black men, because based on what happened this past Thursday and based on what happened on this Friday, if I'm an officer and I'm stopping you on Saturday, I'm thinking, well, officers died the last 2 days. I gotta go on to my wife.
There has to be a systematic analysis of what's going on in the police department. Like, like I said, if protocols are being followed and nobody's guilty of, any wrongdoing every time somebody gets shot, then the protocol is wrong. Because that's not what protect and serve means. That's not what law enforcement is. Law enforcement is not do what I say or you die.
I remember sitting in a police car and I was talking to a policeman and he was showing me everything. And I asked the policeman, I said, it was just a random question. I'm not really sure why I thought of it. I was like, are y'all afraid of gangs? I think I saw Boys in the Hood or something. And I was like, are y'all afraid of gangs? And he chuckled. He said, we're not afraid of gangs. We're the police. We're the biggest gang in the world. And I didn't understand that at age 9.
Right.
But now I look at it and I see now that yes, the police are the biggest gang. They are the biggest fraternity. Because as Remon mentioned,
that blue wall of silence.
They will, if one officer does something bad, no officers will come out and say, you know what, that was bad. I probably would have handled that different.
So I saw a video of he's a cop, and he was just explaining like what could we do when we get
Dude
stopped
with the cowboy hat.
by the police. No, he had like a ball cap on.
Okay.
But he was just saying like before the cop even gets out of the car,
Right.
go ahead and get your wallet, get your ID out, so you're not reaching for anything when he's standing there.
Nah, I do that.
I do that.
And I think, I mean, Philando, like, maybe he just didn't have time, he didn't think about it, but everybody should just go ahead and have it in your hand or just have it on the dash.
Right.
Just so they can't be that room for error. Because if that's already out,
Right.
and then
In case
and
they
they
don't
still
breach it or
shoot you,
something.
right, then that's a problem.
African Americans have 1.1 trillion in buying power. We are the ones that spend the most money on electronics, food, sportswear. So I believe if we start transferring some of that money into our education, if we start voting, if we start rising together as a people, if we start banding together, if we show them this is where our spending power is, this is what we're going to do for ourselves, when we get back to building our communities and really taking back our power and owning that, then now we can, you have no other choice but to respect me. You can't tell me, you won't be able to tell me just anything and expect me to just,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Like when you go back to like even the bus boycotts in Alabama, you
In
know,
the
back during the
50s.
civil rights movement. You know, it wasn't the boycott itself that got those, you know, that changed that dynamic.
Still lost
It
revenue.
was the fact that they lost revenue.
Right.
It was the fact that that affected their bottom line. Oh, these black people ain't getting on the bus no more. We not making no money. We got to change this.
Right.
Because this is affecting our bottom line.
That's my point.
Right.
When we pull that back,
When you pull that back into the black community, we'll start to see change.
We're about to get into final comments real quick, but Keena said something I want to piggyback on as far as, you know, let's change where we spend money at, and let's also make sure we vote.
Locally.
Yeah. There's been a lot of complaints about, well, we feel like President Obama hasn't done enough for black people. And I know that's another conversation about what do you think he could have done. But one thing he did mention at the Howard commencement speech a couple months ago is we as a people have done a horrible job of voting at the midterm elections. So whenever President Barack Obama tries to get something passed, because we didn't participate in the mid elections to get people of sound mind and thinking into the House and the Congress,
He don't have
it's
no
in it.
backup.
He can't get nothing passed.
Right.
So we got to make sure that when we vote, we don't necessarily just vote on the presidential year, but we also vote in the midterm election.
And then it can't just be voting. Like, you know, you actually have to get involved in the process. Like, you go to your town hall meetings, go find out who your representative is. If something ain't right in around where you live, you need to know who your representative is so you can go complain to that person and say, look, this person, like, this ain't right. We need to change this where we live at. Because that's the person that's going to go to Washington, D.C. and vote on your behalf.
Right.
So you need to know who that person is and get involved in the actual process. It's not enough to just vote. You actually have to be involved in the political process. If you're not going to do that, then it's not going to be enough.
If you're a good police officer, shout out to you. If you're a peaceful protester, shout out to you. If you're a person who believes in responsibility when it comes to guns and accountability, you know, shout out to you. If you're a person who believes in making progress and making a positive change, shout out to you because we need you.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to Alton Sterling family, Philando Castile's family, the police officers who lost their lives in Dallas. We're praying for everybody who was affected by all of those deaths. And really, everybody just try to get along. You respect me, I'll respect you, and I feel like eventually we'll progress toward the right direction. It's Charity E.
For the crew, it's Vincent, Heartbreak, Tucker. See y'all next week. Love, love, love. This is what we need. It's VTRS.
Listen up. We want to hear from you. Like the Vincent Tucker Show at Facebook.com/VTRS online and post your comments now. Straight to your ear.
Hey, what? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.